Hey guys, another video for the How to Do Stuff in Japan playlist and our mini-series on raising kids in Japan. These guys you can see here are senior citizens from the local association. They volunteer their time freely to look out for the kids travelling home from school, occasionally randomly travelling to school as well. There's also parents who volunteer to do the same thing and other random members of the community, sometimes representatives of different companies as well. So first of all, I want to clarify that we're not criticising any of these people individually because they're all giving their time freely with the best of intentions. Just the systems involved are not very good. So for example, the kids are all walking to school on the other side of the street. This guy, who's actually a representative of some company, but he's got his green safety vest on, just standing on the corner looking at his watch. How much more time have I got to be here for? Doing absolutely no benefit at all. And we get this quite a lot, that they're sort of not really trained terribly much, that some of them go through some training but not much, and their awareness of danger or their just awareness of how to be of benefit seems to be minimal. And look, standing good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and that's it. She's not keeping an eye out for them as they cross the street. She's not holding out a flag to stop the traffic. She's not doing anything. They also don't discipline the kids. If the kids run across the street or do something else that's dangerous, they don't say anything to them. They just sort of ignore it. So they're not really doing anything. They're not helping educating the kids on safety. They're not warning drivers about the kids or anything. And if you ask people about it, say, what's the story with these guys in the green vests? Oh, it's for safety. Okay, what are they doing? Oh, making people think about safety. And they're just not. And the reason this is on the How to Do Stuff in Japan playlist is, again, if you're raising kids in Japan, don't rely on this. Some of the parents get the impression that, it's very good. These guys are totally random. Some days they're there, some days they're not. Some of them make an effort, some of them don't. A lot of them just going through the motions. This guy's way away from where the kids are, just looking at his smartphone. And that's all he'd been doing. He'd been sort of standing around there looking at his smartphone. The kids are right over there, off doing their own thing, and he's just sort of there until it's time for him to go. So we see it all the time. Even the ones that actually work on the crossings with the flags, a lot of them just totally unaware. The light goes green to walk across the street. They don't really look. They just sort of stick the flag out, and the kids sort of go off on their own. And they're not aware. If a car was coming through without stopping, most of them wouldn't even notice. The reason we know all this is because we walk the kids to school every day, because we just don't trust this system. There's a random one driving around in a car. Patroru, it's called, written on the side of the car, Patroru. And these Patroru can be local association members, or they can be companies that donate the time and the person and the vehicle. Oh, here's a guy who didn't stop. Nobody seemed to notice. Right across the crossing. So again, not being critical of the individuals involved, just pointing out to parents that might be new to Japan or might not be aware of this. A lot of the parents don't walk, so they don't notice these things. See, again, we've got these guys out on the other side of the street. The kids are walking on this side of the street. And again, these guys are totally random. They did that for a couple of days. We never saw them there again. So it's really token gesture sort of stuff, They're not really doing anything. They're not really helping anyone. They're not really stopping accidents. We see accidents on the television all the time. Kids getting hit by cars. This is actually the training day for the kids. The teacher's walking the kids along the route that they have to take to get to school. And she never mentioned safety once. And the kids were sort of spread out all over the street. They weren't really listening to her. And she's walking along the front saying, now you stop here and you wait here. And it's the route they take when they go to school in the morning. But she not once mentioned safety or be careful on this street, watch out for people, cars coming around this corner or anything. There was no mention of safety at all. And it just seems to be, as often is the case in Japan, lack of awareness of risk. And then when kids do get hit by cars, which happens now and again, everybody's surprised. Oh, terrible, terrible. It's like, well, yeah, of course. The kids ambling along, the teacher didn't say anything, and then after the car went past, they're back in the middle of the street again. So our advice, if you're raising kids in Japan, if you're able to, if you're free to do it, walk them to school and home from school. because more effort is given in Japan, more attention is given in Japan to walking to school than walking home from school. So a lot of those green people aren't there in the afternoon, and even if they are, they're not really doing a lot of good. So our advice, walk your kids to and from school if you can, if you're in Japan, because the little streets and the fast cars is just too dangerous, you know, and total unawareness from the kids and from the adults. So anyway, there it was. More videos coming soon.